Hi everyone, this is Nella or May, and I just wanted to use this time to talk about my human angelic reading. And it's 12 and it's awesome. I got this yesterday and I was so happy that I was spending 12 11 12 transitioning into 12 12 12 listening to it, and really got the good vibes off of it. So basically, I'm just going to talk about this reading. Basically, she asks your higher self or your soul to ask about the contract and the mission that it has, and she tells you about it. So she channels that. So for me, the message for me that I'm supposed to embrace and give out is that my message is to be a herald of joy. And I didn't know what the word herald was, but it's basically the delivery person for joy. And my purpose is to understand how to expand my capacity of joy, how to access joy, and how to let people know, how to let them understand that joy comes from within, that they too can access joy. And at first, I thought this sucks. It's like, man, like so many people are doing cooler things. Like they're like builders of the universe, and they're like translator of like ancient like wisdom, and like I'm just here to be like a jester. So and I thought that it was me being an entertainer. And I realized no, like joy doesn't come from the outside, And I sort of thought joy was this too simple thing, like childhood innocence or like child innocence is like this simple thing that I sort of just take it for granted, So, but that's not it. I just kind of realized that joy, what I got from it is this place inside yourself that you can access, and with joy you can access so many things. With joy, you can access peace, you can access contentment, you can access compassion. And joy is this thing that they're saying, this thing that allows human to forget separateness. And, like sometimes I feel like I'm not ready to be this. But if you look at my other video on like authenticity, it's like I need to do this so that others can advance. Others are waiting for me to do my work so that they can do their work. So yeah, what they're saying is that I've reincarnated in this earth so many times, and I'm part of the rainbow race, which is awesome. And I have this deep turquoise color around me, and that's the color that when that's present it draws so many people to me, and so many people want to come near me. I totally understand that, and I see it all the time, like why not? But like my wound basically is like people who don't understand me, and I sort of understood from this reading that people who don't understand me just don't want to understand me because they're holding on to certain vibrations, and that's okay. What I've learned from this is forgiveness versus absolvement. So forgiveness, they said, is understanding, oh, you've hurt me, you've wronged me, but I forgive you. But absolvement is so much greater. Absolvement is realizing that there is no wrong. Absolvement realizing that that was perfect and that's supposed to have done, that's supposed to have been done. And you just look at the situation from a place of compassion and unconditional love. That you actually look at that person or whoever as their divine self, and there is no wrong. So when there ever is a challenge or hardship, I can absolve it. So that was a really great, empowering message. And a lot of in this reading I want to talk about is they kept telling me to sit and be in silent, like sacred silence, and I just couldn't. It's just like this meditation, Vipassana overtone that just comes up to me, and I hope I can give this message. Wow, there's a lot of people who resist meditation. They think it's like, oh, it's so boring, and it's like, well, like that means that you're seeking an outside external stimuli, right? If you're bored. And people think it's something that it's not, when they've never tried it. They just look at it and think, oh, you're being quiet, you're being passive, when you're doing a lot of work to access a world, a state of mind that's inside yourself. And I'll talk about this a little bit later about how I understand meditation. And it's awesome work. It's hard work, dude. But basically it says that, like I want it, sometimes like things sway and I just want things to be like a still pendulum that just floats still, so that, so things can be void. It's like the sunyata, they kept on saying, I have to look up that word. Basically it's like the stillness, the center of everything, and the voidness. And I know that exists. And basically this is a place I feel where you can access joy, and that's the state, like a place in meditation that you can access. Like when you first access a space, you're like, oh, what is this? Like, this is dumb, this is stupid, because you're not used to it. But when you access that state, like how you can access this, like anger is like a state of mind, and you can go into the world with that state of mind. You can go into the world with this still state of mind, this like space that I can't even describe it. But when you go there, that's where I think joy is. And basically I have this image of a light bulb, like us being light bulbs, us the shining lights, and we're hooked up. Our electricity comes from the source or the universe or God or the creator. We're just shining, but sometimes the light bulb gets dusty, right? And it's so dusty that we don't realize that we're shining light. So we go outside externally to find light, to light our path. When you realize that you are light, you are part of light. And what they're saying is that they kept talking about enlightenment, and enlightenment means light within. Enlighten, light within. That's so amazing, right? So what I really got from this is that to access joy is to access my inner world. And the inner world, I have to go.